Hey everyone! And welcome back to another video. If you guys are cool, which you should be, you'll remember these two ladies from a video about a year ago in June. That was a Pokemon collab.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
You're welcome. And if you haven't seen that video, what are you doing? Because it's so good. It's like got one of the least, smallest number of views versus other videos, and it's really good.
It is really good.
And I'm not just saying that.
Yeah, I can confirm.
Can confirm. They were there. It's superb. Would you like to introduce yourself? Again, even though you know who they are already, but we're still, yeah.
Yes. Hello, I'm Alex. I run an Instagram account under alexandrite.doll. Not very active, to be totally honest, but I'll be sharing some more photos here shortly about this collaboration today.
Hey, Katie with Good Life Doll on Instagram and on Etsy. So some of you guys might have seen the jewelry and different accessories that I've been making. So I've got some cool upcoming things and trying to expand my horizons. But I'm excited to be back and doing cosplay stuff because this is the shit I love.
Some good shit. And also some good shit. There's an interview video that is up too where she talks about her process, and I show some of my favorite pieces, so you're welcome. So the theme for this video is The Witcher, and it has meaning for the three of us. So Alex, why is The Witcher meaningful to you?
I fell in love with The Witcher when I was playing The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. Loved the game, probably one of my top games of all time. Just has a really amazing universe, amazing lore. I just fell in love with the whole thing. And so I have been also watching the TV show, which I adore, have been starting to read the books. I'm in my second book right now, Sword of Destiny, and I just love being in that universe. And so this collaboration was just like a dream. I loved it. It was just really amazing.
Yay!
Yay.
For me, on the flip side, I have typically watched my husband play The Witcher, and watching him go through Wild Hunt, the music, I just love. I love silver-haired foxes too, so Geralt is definitely a big fan of mine. And then
He's a fan of yours?
I was like, wow, I
this happen? Upset?
No, okay.
I'm gonna ditto that and say Geralt, and Henry Cavill, So
your dogs agree.
Jack just is like, in the background. And then I watched my brother play through the games, and then there was a period of time where he was playing, but he was like, I'm gonna have you make all the major decisions. There were small children's lives involved.
Oh
yeah.
no.
Yeah, he made me choose that. Yeah, that.
Oh no.
No advice given, nothing. And Neil, our friend Neil, who's also our dungeon master in D&D, was texting Jimmy I am very excited to see how this turns out. And I was like, y'all got problems. So yeah, this was really exciting. We had talked about doing it for several months, and in the fashion or true spirit of collab, means just like when we did in our Pokemon collab, we all chose to do different parts of it. We all got to have a doll and choose a character that we had a theme for, and then we all kind of volunteered different roles for the project. So with that being said, we're gonna just kind of talk about what we did or what we took on, some of the challenges and the things that went really well. There's a lot of pieces literally and figuratively involved with this cosplay, and so I chose to do Geralt, even though you know me, I enjoy gender bending. You guys know that I'm not confined by gender boundaries, and I like to see like a lot of cosplayers out there, you see cosplayers play different races, genders, ages, and I think that's really cool. It's one of my favorite parts of the collaborative process. So I chose Geralt. I know I'm bringing Geralt into the fold, but this isn't like all my work, so I'm just gonna let Geralt just like hang out here and you'll see footage. So for me and for all of us, we had kind of decided that we were going to do a combination of purchased items and handmade items. So pieces that I focused on making primarily were armor. The boots that Geralt wears were made, and I also made the gauntlets and the corset. And I made the corset for Ciri, and I also did Yennefer's jacket. And those are the pieces that I made. The boots were a lot of fun because I ended up just using a thigh-high pattern, and I bought, I will insert the shop name because I can't think of it on the top of my head, but they were 3D printed heels. And so I just literally put some foam on top of the 3D print mold and glued them, and then bought faux leather to sew with, because as I learned, sewing actual leather by hand can never happen again. It's never gonna happen. And if it does happen, I'm gonna need like metal gloves, because oh my god. And I made my own patterns like I usually do, so just like taping and no measuring. Eyeballed it. I know you hate it that I do that, but I do it. It was all eyeballed, and I don't feel bad about it because it turned out really cool.
But so it's also incredibly impressive though, too.
That I eyeballed.
That she just kind of like just pulls things out of thin air and is like, yeah, it looks like this. I can make this. Like, yeah.
Take a compliment.
Just has to look good for photos. Okay.
So I chose Ciri to do, and so similarly, there are some items here that I did make, some that I purchased. The belt around, the necklace, the like jewel belt, as well as the like waist belt, the armbands, gauntlets, all of that. I made all of those pieces, but I did purchase this top from Elite Doll World. Pants, I believe, were from
TNTO.
Yeah.
Because I bought the same pants.
Yes.
My top is also from Elite Doll World. Hashtag not sponsored. But if you'd like to.
And then I had like these little studs and pieces that I put on the like pants that you'll see in like the photos that we have. Something that I learned, wow, I can smell that, was actually these belt pieces, because she had requested that I work on Geralt's, like all of his belt work and his necklace. So I did all of the belts for Geralt as well. And then these pieces came in legitimately the next day after. So they're just a little frustrating. Because I was like, dang it, I finished all of this. It looks great. But this would not adhere with like the glue that I was using. So I had to get creative and use those same pins that I cut off and put on the bottom, and actually punched a hole with like a belt hole puncher and then push down and like spread them out to connect them, which I really like the look and the effect. I think it turned out really good. Cutting leather sucks too. So if you ever decide to cut leather, because the belts are like real leather, make sure you get the proper tools.
A chainsaw. You're gonna need a chainsaw.
I mean, I was gonna say leather cutting scissors.
Okay.
And then the boots I got from Mori Time.
Yeah, so like she's a professional belt maker now, guys. Like they're really nice belts. Like leave a comment in the description below if that is something you would really like to see her add into the shop, and other leather, whether faux or real leather accessories, because it really made it come together, in my honest opinion. The attention is in the details.
Is it my turn?
Alex!
Yennifer.
Yenny.
Yen. I loved putting Yen together, and it was basically like as a huge collaboration. Like both of you helped me out tremendously, as they mentioned before, because as Kat mentioned, like she made the jacket, which was just really interesting process. All of our woes about leather was probably because of this jacket. I did put together the pentagram design. I drew that on myself on a small little
It looks so profesh.
Thank you.
Like,
Yes.
I would never have known you drew it.
And then Katie put it together in a necklace, as she does, and it looks amazing. I put together the stole and the gauntlets and the belt, and it was really fun talking about the stole and the gauntlets, working with just like leather pieces and fur. Kat was petting Yen's hair because Kat cut it for me, because I don't know how to cut hair. But it looks fantastic. She just, I don't know, it looks beautiful.
Dallas Doll Co., everybody.
Yes,
Ooh.
Dallas Doll Co. Things that I purchased to help with this is the undershirt. The white undershirt I got from Mommy Sewing KR. And then the pants I first purchased from Elite Doll World. And then I modified them by stitching the white stitches along the sides. And then I also added some iron-on patches that I cut into strips and made the little side stripes on the pants. So purchased but then modified to what I needed to create.
Got some good butt line right there too. And then the iron-on patch is also brilliant. That's something I never think about doing. But now I'm like, I can't wait to try doing some of that. It looks so good.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't sew, right? So this was my first project where I actually I picked up a needle for the first time in probably since home ec class in middle school or high school. The most interesting challenge about this outfit was probably the ribbons along her arms. So this was kind of a bit of trial and error because I knew I needed to make these. I felt like the detail was worth all the time and effort. And so my initial idea was to use actual ribbon, because that makes sense, because that's what they are. And so we found a really good ribbon that was striped in the best way, perfectly as what I needed it to. But I needed to cut it down to size. And when I cut it down to size, the ribbon was of a way where it was starting to fray on the sides, and it just looked like a mess. So I am more familiar and comfortable with paper crafting. And so these ribbons are actually made of paper. And what I did was, I actually grabbed a couple of these to show, but I made strips of paper from black construction paper and then just white standard printer paper, glued them so that they look like this, cut them into strips, and then I made them into basically two different parts. There's the first part that I essentially just kind of folded it in half and then put along a leather strap that goes around the arm itself. And then the second piece was more of a circle, a loop that I then had to indent to kind of get a bow-like shape to go on top of that first part.
I love it. It's one of my absolute favorite parts of this whole costume, because you would never know that they're paper. It's just so... When she said she was making them out of paper, I was like... What? And then she started working on them and I was like, oh my god, that's brilliant, and they look so good.
So I made the belt actually on the same day that Katie made Ciri's belt.
Yeah.
That was kind of our initial trial and error day on belt making, and they turned out a lot better than I think we were anticipating. But yeah, I'm really happy with the belt.
I put a call out on Instagram kind of last minute. So I had 2.5 weeks to put all of this together, given just the time that I gave myself, which was not enough time. Within 3 weeks, was contacted by all my plastic children who responded to a Facebook post that I put out that I needed swords. They make absolutely amazing props. Oh my god. I cannot get over just the sheer detail. It's made of aluminum, and I know when people think aluminum, they think of aluminum foil. My husband and I own a sign shop, and so we work with the same type of aluminum for sign work, printed out, cut out with a laser. And this is just incredible. And the hilt is made out of wood, and it's super lightweight. Yeah, if you want something that's really high quality that you're going to be able to use frequently, or you just pride yourself on having really well done prop work, reach out to them. amazing. And thank you so much for doing it in like a rush amount of time, because I was short on time. And while they had made the offer to do Geralt's sword, I felt really bad that like I don't ever want to push somebody into doing something, and I know what it's like when you want to do your best work. So I said, you know what, somebody made a suggestion to look at letter openers. And so I found a letter opener from Canada that would be here in time. And while like height-wise, we're looking pretty good. But it weighs a ton, and it's fat. It's real girthy. And it's a weapon. It's a real weapon. Like, I told the girls, because we went out for a night shoot, and I was like, I would feel like I could if I needed to. Yeah, swords. Wigs. Dallas Doll Co. for Yennefer's wig, which I cut. It's the long, wavy black wig. And then Ciri's wig is Leisure of Dolls. They're
Silver Lining Wave.
And then the wig that Geralt is sporting, wig that came with my Fortitude in Coco, Semi-Real Fortitude. But the most important character of the entire thing is Roach, and then Kelly is Roach, Geralt's horse. His trusty steed. I got this for free from a toy store locally, because on your birthday they have like all these like little things, like teeny tiny toys, and they're usually like not worth more than $1 or $2, but on your birthday you get to pick one for free. And I was looking and thinking about letting the girls pick out whatever they wanted, and there was this Lone Ranger with marks on his face and a head that pops off. And I went, that's our Roach! Now obviously I may not do well with measurement or math, but I know enough to know this is not appropriate size. But we made it work. As you will see in the photos, we absolutely made it work doing some perspective photography. So Roach. So that's it in a nutshell, y'all. Like, it was a lot of hard work, and I think everybody did a really amazing job. And then when they got here, we were still working on putting together some finishing touches. And so I'm just really happy with how it turned out, and I know like I'll be bugging Katie forever now for accessories, because now I'm like, hey belt lady, make me some belts. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yes. And if you haven't watched Pokemon, what are you doing with your life?
Go watch it. Like now.
Because there's going to be another Pokemon collab coming up in November. So get ready, because you got to catch them all. And there's a lot to catch. And so thank you all so much for watching. I love you all so much. Stay kind. Be safe. And remember, as we always say in this house, peace out, bean sprouts. Bye. The guy's like just jamming out on the phone. It's like that. Yeah. Yeah, that shit is sick. Yep, I eat.